Hey, welcome back, you Castillo Nation, to Midweek in Geek. Still working on trying to get that name right. It's not This Week in Geek, it's Midweek in Geek, because I put it up on during Hump Day or the day after, but because today, specifically, is a holiday, I wanted to have it today. So, with that said, welcome back! I'm your host, Eric Castillo. As always, I got a nice full mug of something, mystery drink. And I got some news, and I've got some tips and tricks, and none of that. I've just got news. So let's start off this whole section with Happy May the 4th, everybody. For those of you who are Star Wars fans, Happy May the 4th be with you. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you are planning viewing events for all 7 films now. Dude, those first 3 episodes, though. Well, if you're lucky, you're going to get a chance to watch the original episodes 4, 5, and 6 in their beautiful pre-Bad Touch by Uncle George editions. And if you are that lucky, congratulations, you're one of few that still get a chance to do that. VHS don't last forever. But with that said, may I sprinkle in a few suggestions to add a little life to the party? Fatten up that little, viewing party with some interesting mixes. Well, if you agree to this, then buckle up, Buttercup, because this is a journey not many will take. So go ahead and get your favorite Jedi robes, slip on your dingy, raggedy Darth Maul slippers, and snuggle up all close and cuddly to your life-size Jar Jar Binks love doll. Because I'm going to give you a list of movies you need to add to the viewing. First off, you need to start with all 13 episodes of Droids. That's right, the wonderful Droids TV series. Star Wars Droids, a cartoon that came out like 1970 something, I think, and is the adventures of R2-D2 and C-3PO with R2-D2 as himself. It is, how can I put it? It must be watched. Then on top of that, you sprinkle in not one, but 2 Ewok films. Caravan of Courage and Battle for Endor. Why? Because all true Star Wars fans acknowledge that Ewoks are a thing. And they did defeat Stormtroopers. Then, on top of that, you sprinkle in at least 1 season of the Ewoks TV series. Not 2. I'm not going to punish you yet. Sprinkle in 1 season. And then finally, when all is said and done, you toss in the creme de la creme, the gem, the jewel of all things that Star Wars fans never want to acknowledge, and most don't even realize exist. The Star Wars Holiday Special, my friends. That's right. The one thing that George Lucas, on an interview, actually said, if I could somehow get all existing copies of this thing, I would destroy them and so that no one would ever have to watch them again. Paraphrasing, of course. It's beautiful. You've got Solo kissing a Wookiee. You've got Wookiee speak and Jefferson's Starship, I think, somehow mixed into this. It is a horribly wonderful thing to watch. It's surprising to find out that my wife had no idea it existed up until I had a conversation with her about it today. So, happy May the 4th, right? But the reason I say this is, for those of you who are Star Wars fans and all you've ever seen is the films, the main 7 films, and maybe you caught some Clone Wars, maybe you caught a little bit of Rebels recently, but you've never really taken on anything of the Expanded Universe books that are no longer canon, or you've never taken on anything like the Ewoks movies. Well, the reason I say you should is one big reason. All true Star Wars fans know not everything related to Star Wars is good. In fact, quite a bit of it is worse than Episode 1. But in order to say you are truly a Star Wars fan, you not only watched it, but now you have an educated point of view because you actually watched it. And you didn't use the wiki pages to get away with having a freaking high horse opinion about something that you've never actually seen. So with that, Happy May the 4th be with you, everyone. Hopefully some of you take up my challenge, and hopefully none of you have the dreaded life-size Jar Jar Binks love doll, let alone the Jar Jar Binks lollipop, because that thing's disgusting. Ugh. And I'm talking about the lollipop. Ugh. Anyways, let's get into some news. You may have seen this on your feed, you may have seen people talking about it for months now. But it's finally official. The new Ghostbusters trailer has been dubbed by YouTube, aka Google, the most disliked video of all time. The ratio is literally 3 times as much as the likes. In fact, it has 277,000 likes versus 667,000 dislikes. I mean, what the heck? We haven't even seen the movie yet. Oh, but of course, angry rage on YouTube and internet does not come with just dislikes and likes. It comes with wonderful, colorful comments that I can't repeat most of. But some of there was 2 that caught my attention really well. One that actually points out a really good point. Points out a good point. Wow, that really emphasizes a good point. And I quote, "Once again, the Black Ghostbuster is not a scientist." Why, Sony? I mean, why? Seriously, once again, 3 Caucasians are scientists and a minority is a subway token collector, whatever the heck that she is. Very messed up. Second, and I'm only sharing this because honestly, the trouble this guy went through to do this was no minor feat in comparison to just clicking dislike and comment. And I quote, "I forgot my YouTube account was banned, so I went ahead and registered again just so I could dislike this crap." That takes effort, my friend. Mad respect for the effort. The fact that you actually went and created a whole new YouTube account just to hate on a movie we haven't even seen. Let me say this. There are movies out there that deserve the hate. And one of those movies is on my stories in this list up next. But in more recent memory, there have been movies like Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I hate that title. Go back to the beginning. And when I start talking about Dawn of Justice, I've hated the idea. I've hated the title. I didn't hate the movie. I actually will admit that it wasn't terrible. It was at least Iron Man 3 good, which is not terrible. Because it could have been X-Men Last Stand terrible, and it wasn't. There was actually some good stuff in there. You just have to watch it a couple of times. Fortunately for me, I paid so much attention to the damn movie trying to find the hate. Find out why people, after so many weeks on the box office, were hating on it. I paid extra attention to everything, so I got it on the first viewing. It's not terrible. It's just not great. But Ghostbusters isn't even in theaters yet. We haven't seen anything more than bits and pieces. We don't even know the real plot behind it, other than there's ghosts and there's some busting. And they happen to be women. The fact that we have a hard time accepting female Ghostbusters, but yet no one's complaining about the fact that there's ghosts in the movie. We cool with that. You know, it's like, we're okay with it. Oh, yeah, ghosts. That makes total sense. Women? What? I don't get you, fellow nerds. I don't think you're even nerds, to be honest. The fact that the media keeps, clumping us all together into this one massive sphere of hate really irritates me. I had no problem with the Black Johnny Storm and the Fantastic Four. I never even bothered watching the damn movie. And I still won't criticize it because it just doesn't look good. So whether he's white, black, Asian, Mexican, it wouldn't have made a difference. I still wouldn't have seen the movie. As far as Ghostbusters, I'm okay with the trailer. It's got some real talent behind it, and for all I know, it's going to be fantastic. And guess what? We didn't want to hate on Batman v Superman before it came out. Because we thought, oh, it's Batman vs. Superman. It must be amazing. I said otherwise. I said it can't be great. Because the people behind it are not great. They don't respect the source material. They don't respect, I don't know, movie structure. God, I don't even know what to blame for this one. But in Ghostbusters, y'all forget it was a comedy in the original. It was meant to be a little bit of tongue-in-cheek with a little bit of action. And that's what this one seems to want to deliver, and all we keep hearing from the angry people is, why they be women in it? Women should not be busting ghosts. Feminists keep pushing their agendas. No. Feminists keep pushing agendas. Do you really believe that special interest groups have this much influence on what the hell people do with their money? Not that I'm against equal rights, and I'm making it clear before any crazy comments go flying out. I'm just saying, when you blame all your problems on one little group of people, and by the way, this being one of your problems that there's female Ghostbusters, you really don't have much going on in life as far as problems. Seriously. There's bigger things you could be a Facebook activist over that could probably use your help and your digital signature. This is not one of them. But the fact that we want to hate on female Ghostbusters for absolutely nothing more than that's female Ghostbusters really makes it a sad little fact. Like, it's just pathetic. It really comes down to that. The comments are hilarious on the actual Sony Pictures video, but this is the Cheerios and the Old Navy ads with the biracial couples all over again. People are just hating to hate. Nothing more. In fact, I am literally starting to believe... Why did I say the word literally? I am genuinely starting to believe that the media blows out things as far as nerd communities are concerned because it brings headlines. You know, it's like, oh, new Harry Potter movie based on the Harry Potter universe does not have Harry Potter in it. Or I can't even remember the name of the movie, The Cursed Child, that's coming out in the Harry Potter universe. Hermione is changed to a black woman, and suddenly everybody's going, why is she black? The continuity of the films is ruined. The movie is based on their lives 15 to 20 years after they graduate high school or Hogwarts. So, continuity thrown out because new actors would have been used, period. But Hermione was never described as white. She had frizzy hair. That was her description, for the most part. So, sorry. This whole story is ridiculous, and the only reason I'm even talking about it is I wanted to ask, why the hate? Can't we wait till the movie comes out? And if it does suck, I'm still gonna go watch it. And if it really is bad, I will join in on the why was this even made bandwagon. But until then, there's no reason. It is just genuine, stupid hate over nothing. With that said, here's something you can truly hate and appreciate. That works. Dragonball Evolution writer Ben Ramsey writes an apology letter to all of us. For those of you who are familiar with Dragon Ball Z, and who am I talking to? Of course you're familiar with Dragon Ball Z. And if you aren't, then you'll enjoy this. Dragon Ball Z was a phenomenon. Sorry, that's going to be stuck in your head all day now. Dragon Ball Z was a phenomenon in the late 90s, thanks to Adult Swim's, thanks to Cartoon Network's Toonami, and now, we've had Dragon Ball Kai, which shortened the overextended fights, and now we have Dragon Ball Super, which is a continuation that revokes the GT crap and gives us a fresher concept of everything that's been going on. But here in the States, we have a tendency to try and make live-action movies from Japanese-inspired everything. The Ring, for one. The Grudge. All those movies. Great in the original, the original way they were made. Not too terrible in the American one, but Dragon Ball Evolution, I don't even know what happened, to be honest. It was terrible. Almost nothing in the movie made sense compared to the source material. Goku is suddenly Caucasian. I mean, some of the actors were Asian, but yet Goku was Caucasian. And yeah, I get it, he's an alien. Although in the Evolution, he's not really an alien. He's a god? Or an ape? The vessel for an ape god? I watched that movie twice to make sure I really did hate it as much as I hated. And it never made sense. It was just terrible. But anyways, Ben Ramsey wrote an apology letter, and in one line summed it all up. I did the best I could, but at the end of the day, I dropped the Dragon Ball. It's true. I mean, he honestly admits in the interview that he not only dropped the ball, but at the time he was basically cashing in on a big fat paycheck, and he was thinking more as a businessman than an actual artist or a writer. And that tends to happen. A lot of people lose their focus on what they were trying to achieve when they were writing the script versus what the studio wants or what they think the studio wants to see. And, you know, I honestly hope this never comes about again. I don't ever want to see another live action Dragon Ball movie. Except for that rip-off Korean one, I think, or the Chinese, I can't remember. That was actually not too terrible. But another American one should not happen. Animated or nothing. Let's just leave it at that. Because those two movies that got released in theaters were good. Dragon Ball Super has been doing great. Or at least I've been enjoying it like crazy. But that's just me. I don't know what everybody else thinks about it. Anyways, last but not least, I want to give a special thanks and a shout out to all my good friends over at San Diego Con for the wonderful event we threw together at the Escondido Renaissance Fair at Felicita Park. If you managed to be there, let me know in the comments. Give a post, share, whatever. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. Last minute changes to my schedule prohibited it, but what can you do? I will say this: reception was so good for the event that we're being asked to come back and being asked to actually do it again in the fall. So keep your eyes peeled on San Diego Con's activities via the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and of course, look for the actual event September 30th through the 2nd. And we will continue to have some more events coming up. We actually have a couple of contests coming up, and I'll keep you posted on that via their Facebook page. But I just love the fact that, this whole event came together with a conversation with the con chair and the marketing department and me saying, why don't we just go to the Ren Fair? It'd be Doctor Who cosplayers traveling through time and hanging out with pirates and royalty and all that good stuff. And then saying, can we do that? My response was simply, can't we just ask? And that went into finding the right people to do the right job and contact the right people, and in turn everybody got everything they wanted and everybody's happy and we all enjoyed it, and yeah, good stuff. So thanks again if you were there on May 1st. I hope that we can keep the community events going strong, and we will see you hopefully September 30th through the October 2nd this year at the actual con. So, with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for following me. And thank you so much for the fantastic reception. I have never gotten so many views on one of these videos, and ironically through Facebook video and not YouTube. YouTube, I've got nothing. I've got 5 views on my last video, but on Facebook, I'm close to 100 now in less than a week, and that's fantastic. Without being an unboxing video, I'm doing really well, and without even being focused on video games, which is fantastic. So thank you so much for everybody who's been viewing, and thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully you enjoy the new look, because it's sexy. Turn you on? Good. Let me know what you think of that, too. Any feedback is always welcome. Comment, like, share, subscribe, the whole thing. Until next time, keep it geeky, and check back next week, midweek, for more stuff in Geek. Ooh, that's a good one. Maybe not.